Okay, for the character, you need to shake the character out. It's not you. You can shake the character out. Words for how you felt when the show finished. Believed. Believed. Interesting. Can you tell me a bit more about what does that mean? Being believed.
Being listened.
Being listened to.
I was able to share a story, so I was believed by.
Sharing a story. So, do you think that it's a story that was important to the audience?
Yeah.
Tell me why. Why was that story important to the audience?
Because
Go ahead.
they take action,
Yeah.
and it was beautiful to see a person that is nervous and afraid to be on stage, to get up and go on a stage. So
Yeah.
they have some motivation to do that.
Yeah.
I think for a lot of them, the father part was very relatable.
Okay, tell me more.
Like, it's obvious that a lot of people have troubles with their parents, especially with their dad. So that's why I think it was so relatable and it was so addressed. No.
Do you think that's something that happens often in Romanian culture?
Yes.
Do you think it's something? Do you think that addressing father problems is something that happens often in Romanian culture?
No.
Is there space to talk about issues with your father
and the mother? I mean the family.
So
Family in general, yeah.
Yeah.
So family problems are. Do you know the word taboo?
Yeah.
Is that true? It's taboo. And why do you think family problems are taboo?
Because it's so deep rooted and it's so hard to change, because that's how their parents were, and the parents of the parents and the parents of the parents and the parents and the parents and the parents and so on.
The old trauma.
Yeah, like in Greek tragedies. Yeah.
And it's weird because Romanian families aren't really traditional, because I don't know, many of us are raised with our grandparents or uncles or aunts, but we never like to talk about that, and we always really strive for that perfect family, like mom, dad, son, daughter, and that's it.
And so why is it so common for Romanian families to raise, for not biological parents to raise children?
Because they need to work in order to have money, right? So they oftentimes have to work more than a job to be able to afford the family.
Or leave the countries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they think that maybe, so your parents go to Spain, and they think that they'll settle in Spain, they'll have a good job even though they don't have the qualifications for that, and in a few years they'll get you to come with them, but that mostly never happens. So that's why a lot of children end up being raised by anyone else but their parents, or anyone else but both of the parents especially.
They think that they can offer the child a better life when they are living abroad because they are sending more money home, but in reality they are doing more damage to the child.
Wow.
And they feel they feel like they do such a huge sacrifice that if you are saying something about you, they are like, why are you judging me? I've done everything for you and now you are not grateful for what I've done. And they can't accept that they're wrong sometimes.
Wow. That's so interesting. And would you all, if I was to ask you that this is something that you either has happened in your family or in a family that's close to you, how many would put your hands up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like in our
Either in your family or in a family close
What
to
exactly?
you. Like one degree of separation. It's not necessarily your parents, but it's close. You know somebody close where this has happened. So, would you imagine as a percentage how many children get brought up not by their parents, do you think? Because of this.
70%.
67.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fully, maybe not that much, but like
Okay, but
half of the time,
maybe a half.
part-time parentship is really big.
like a couple of years of your childhood are spent with your grandparents.
At least in the summer.
In the summer or going to the countryside or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or one parent stays
And is there a
here.
good side to that? Is
Yeah.
there something that's good about that?
Totally.
Yeah, so tell me about the good side of that.
Well, I've learned quite a lot from my grandmother.
Yeah.
Right? So I learned about the farm life, from the countryside life, which I totally dig with. I like it a lot. Then she has some, well, being older, she has a lot of knowledge, she knows stuff, she knows her way around, and she knows how to parent, and she knows how to pass down some information and stuff. Or from my other grandmother, she was really nice, the neighborhood was really nice. I grew up with them, not in my neighborhood where I actually live, but in my grandmother's neighborhood. It was very fine.
Okay, because I can see absolutely how having an extended family, bringing up children has really lots of positives, but also as a child there's lots of things to miss in having your actual parents. So I think that's really interesting, so thank you for sharing that. So I have one other question about sort of in that, do you feel that Romanian fathers, because you mentioned about Romanian fathers, it felt really like the audience really connected with this story about the father, and that was really relatable. Do you think it's a stereotype, or do you think there's a reality to that? Can
It's
you
a
tell
reality.
It's reality.
Tell me, what is the reality in your own words?
Well, I think it roots back to the communism time, when there was such a hard time just existing, and most of them were just drinking their way to the life.
Drinking?
Yeah, because stuff was so hard to deal with,
Yeah,
so they just kept drinking to make it easier.
yeah,
And it just had like, you know, when you throw a pebble in the water, it makes ripples. That's what happened.
yeah.
So that's why it's still.
So there's like the legacy,
Yeah.
because so your fathers were brought up during communist times, and their fathers before that. So you're kind of like the first generation, maybe second, second generation to not be underneath communism.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I think that my grandparents' generation has really these strong beliefs that women have such particular roles in the society, and men have such roles, and they do not accept women as equal as men. And my father's generation is trying to fight this, but it's like in the middle. It listens to our generation, but it listens to his parents' generation, and it's like.
So there's a big transition going on at the moment. Okay. So one last question. Can you tell me, if you were going to do this again, what would you do differently?
I would speak louder.
What would you like more of, or less of, or something else if you were to do it again?
I kind of enjoy the process.
You enjoyed the process.
Yeah.
What did you enjoy about the process?
It was gradually.
Uh-huh.
At the beginning, we started with the poses, and then with a little idea of what this means. And after that, we evolved to doing scenes and the whole show. And this gradually thing helped me not to freak out. So it was really good to have steps.
Yeah. So you didn't feel scared?
I
Really?
did.
You did?
Yeah, yes, I did.
I would have loved the downbringing of Moise to be kind of longer, show more of what made him kill himself.
Yeah. Do you think that we could have shown more in the time that we had, in half an hour? Would you like it to have been a longer play?
Yeah, kind of a longer play, more scenes that could lead to that. I don't know.
Yeah.
It would be fantastic.
More development.
More character development.
I agree. Yeah, that would be very possible if you had more time. Yeah.
And the script, I mean, it was nice and it was new to have this kind of improvised things, but I think the message would have been like
kind of.
Could have been clearer if it
Yeah.
was written.
Yeah.
Yeah, a script would have helped quite a lot.
It's really interesting for me to see everything. I mean, at one moment I took this decision for myself to not be part of it, so I can see clearly how it's made and how can I made it afterwards, this kind of thing. And it's amazing to see that in just 4 days a lot of people do stuff like this without a text, like you said. But like for me as an actress, if I would say to an actor which has a lot of experience, do this in 4 days, it's like, no, just no, I won't do it. But you did it without, I'm just like playing, which is wow.
Yeah.
It's like it's really powerful, and it sends to the audience and all the people who are just seeing it a sense of just go with the flow, because here in Romania I think we are stuck a little bit with the father, with the mother, with the relationship, because we have so status, you know, like you have to be like this and everything with the money problem. So the reason why people go abroad and need to have money to be a man in society, to have a purpose and stuff like this, I think is just the fear behind it. It's not actually. And I think exactly this type of thing helps us. The freedom of some people, some kids, some or maybe adults who still think themselves as kids, just go with the flow and see what's happening. And I tell you, I was really nervous about this, because I have this in my head, oh, it's Romania. I don't think they're gonna see it. I don't think they're gonna open it, even though I'm Romanian and I love my country and the people. I mean, we are very creative, I know this, but it's just the way we do it is like, yeah, but I have to be cooler. But I have to be, and we have so many stops. And it's hard to work to improvisation with an actor when we're doing a show or something. It's really hard because so many stages. Yeah, it's like fight of stages, like who's better, which is fuck. Well, it's not okay. In the university, it's the same. Like, no, I don't want to be in a competition with anybody of my colleagues. Just let me adore them as artists, just independent artists as they are, and it's cool. I mean, it's really cool. I would love this to be in universities more.
That's what I also appreciated about today, because I was sitting there behind the camera and I really felt the intimateness and everything of this particular room. And everybody was here, the people in the audience, the people maybe even from Scotland. I feel like some kind of, I don't know, it was something that really bonded us all and made us maybe seek the same result, or I don't know, I really felt connected to everybody. I really felt the connection. And I think it's amazing because I don't usually feel things like that, like with energies, with connections. Not that far. But I really felt connected with the people who were around me, and I really appreciated that.
Yeah, that's beautifully put. Both of what you just said was beautifully put, and what you just said is the whole reason why I do this project, because I want people to have a space where they can listen and talk to each other. And I think on the internet, everything about the structure of the internet and the way that it's used politically means that people are being pushed and polarized away from each other. And so I want to use the internet as part of the art form to bring people together so that we can actually talk, actually listen. So it takes a week of telling a story to make a half an hour of drama, just so that we can have 40 minutes to talk.
Yeah.
So it takes all of that work so that we have a creative, safe, brave space where we can talk. Because it felt like everybody was so brave. You were brave to be on stage. You were brave to just go, yeah, like you were saying, just like, yeah, I'm just going to play. I'm just going to do it. And the audience was so brave. And Christy,
Christy,
you know, like
he's awesome.
he really, really wanted to do it, obviously, but he was scared. before he got up. Like, don't tell anybody that we know. We could all see it, and it makes it so moving to see somebody overcome that fear, because it's important. So, unless anybody else has got anything else that they want to say, to be noted down, I will declare the party well and truly begun. You can stay until 6 o'clock or whenever. We'll be here packing up. Yes.
For example, after the first, I feel relief. Or something.
Relief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to add joy.
Joy. Yeah. Anything else? I'm taking this home. This is going to stay in my record.
Just as Daria said, maybe bonding, I guess, would be...
Bonding. So, a word about the future. Oh, yes?
I felt sad that it's gone.
Sad that it's gone. Oh, well, since you said that, sad that it's gone. There is a plan for the future. The plan at the moment is that we're going to turn this work into a workshop that we can take into schools. And we are planning to take it into secondary schools in Kosti. Have you heard of Kostesti? How do you say it? Kostesti?
Kostesti. I think that's what
Kostist.
No, I'm calling it at that point. So the hope is that together we can work out a way of doing workshops with younger pupils in schools. I imagine that we will, I don't know actually, so I'm not going to say. We'll get together with Aline and we'll work out a programme. If you guys want to work with us on that, we would be very delighted to continue to work on it. So it will be probably that in the new year we'll have a series of online meetings, we'll work out a programme for the workshop, and then some of you, probably in pairs, you'll come and do a workshop on different days, because we can't have all of you every day going to the schools, but we'll work out a plan so that 2 or 3 of you come together to run the workshop with the young people and with me and Gavin.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
So the aim of that plan is to make a theatre show, a short one like this one with the kids?
I don't know. I think either it might be that we do a shorter version of the play without all of the technicals and do a forum with the young people, or it might be that we make a little play with them in 2 hours and we use some of the script from this to help support them. I don't know. That's for the workshops. I am imagining an hour and a half to 2 hours workshop led by us in the school, using the material that we've researched and created this week, and the bonding and the knowledge that we have as a group as well.
So we will create a play.
We could use the play that we made.
Okay.
We might get some of the young people to make scenes for a play that they can workshop and forum. But we'll work it out when we meet online in the new year. And Aline will be in touch with everybody about information for that. And if you need any information about it, I suggest that you get in touch with Station Europe first. Yeah? And you'll manage that communication. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, if there's any pizza left, eat the pizza. And we are here, and I guess